Good afternoon from a very bright, very warm loose flag. Oh, something else to fix, add it to the list. Very pleasant, very dry Peterborough. I was stopped by a couple at the BKKS at Coventry, and they were either buying, considering a drum filter, and asked me when I was going to do a review. Now, I'm going to do a review now. I've got me script, got my glasses, so I tried to split this down with Kat last night to little bite-sized chunks to make things simple to understand, just exactly how I like things to be, simple to understand. Now I had, as you know, 2 easy pods set inside a filter pit, and that started me thinking when I spoke to Kat, I'm 58 now. How many years can I go down the line getting in and out of that pit without me A, falling over, B, falling over and breaking something and being unable to get out of the pit, and some of my ex-crewmates laughing continuously while they drag my poor broken body out of that hole. And when I buy things or create things, I try and future-proof them. So the future proofing of this pond and the filtration system was to make it easier. Nothing wrong with the EA filters, nothing wrong with easy pods, but I needed to future proof my pond. I did a lot of homework, a lot of research. Phil from Telford Koi Pond. And I checked out Filtro, EA with the Nexus, Oazi, Profi drum, Aquasource, Burton's, Draco drum, all sorts. The only reason I picked Queni Koi QK15 Combi, it was the only one that had fit in the pit. So there was no QK is better than Filtro, Filtro is better than EA, backwards and forwards. No. The personal choice was made up for me because it was the only one that would go in the pit. That was easy. The QK15 Combi, as I now believe, has been superseded by the QK25 Entry. I think you can still get the QK15 drum, but don't quote me on that. Construction, very, very well made. Polypropylene. Must be 12mm thick, but let's have a look. Now let me just lift this lid off, one-handed, in and in. Try not to drop the lid in. There we go. These are the sections I'm talking about. This one must easily be 15mm. This must be about 10mm. So from a construction perspective, excuse me, I need my notes. Very, very well built, as are many others out there in the market. So keep reminding yourself that this is one of many well-made drums in the country. This originated from DVS filter technique in Holland. If you go see Dublin Koi Pond, Ken Simpson over there, he has got the bigger brother of the one I have. So, internals. We'll start with the inlets, work our way through each compartment, finish with the outlets. So how many inlets do I have? This comes with two 4-inch inlets, 1 and 2. This one is direct from the bottom drain, all 4-inch, no restrictions. That comes direct from the skimmer, all in 3-inch. Soil pipe is the waste, so that's the external part of the internal bits. Waste chute needs a clean, UV, but we'll get back to that. And this is known as the dirty area. This is where the water comes in. It then passes into the drum area. Three heads for cleaning, 3 probe sensor, but I believe it's only wired up to take these 2 probes. I'm still not certain what this one's for, because the system will shut down if it gets below that probe. When the water drops below this probe, it just initiates its cycle for rinsing. As soon as that's covered back up, stops rinsing. 75 micron screen. The QK entry as 120. Why it's changed, I don't know. Perhaps money. Trying to make things cheaper. The whole pipe is demountable for cleaning. Right in the bottom, if you can see, maybe not this side, maybe that side, possibly, there is a plug that you can pull out. Similarly, down in the darkness there, you can just see it glowing. That's another plug you can pull out. In the event that things go wrong and the drum doesn't turn for any reason, you can pull both those bypass plugs out and the water will simply pass through, go past the drum and then direct into the bio chamber. Not ideal, but it gets you going again. So that's probably a popular feature on a lot of things. What else is there? The probes are fully adjustable, they can go up and down. The drum itself is direct drive, so the shaft passes through from one end to the other, whereas some are what I call transverse, so the drums are sideways on and they have to be driven round with a sprocket and gear wheel. Anything else on there? No. Next area is the bio chamber. Now I'm pretty certain I've seen mixed quantities from DBS Filter Technique, which I believe is 125 litres of LX13. This currently has about 113 litres of Micro K1. The pump is directly below my finger, and this system uses the clean water of the bio in order to clean the drum screen. Some of the systems you use an external supply for your cleaning agent. This is internal. This pipe is connected to an air supply, and below here there is a 27 centimetre air dome which makes it bubble and boil. I think that covers that. At the end we've got the direct drive. The shaft you could just possibly pick out underneath that, and that does 4 revs a minute. Down below is the returns. This is another 4-inch return, reduced to 1.5 for my use. And then over the other side, another 4-inch return, reduced to 1.5 just for my use. So that's in and out. You get a nice chunky lid to go on the top. I'll just close the lid, excuse me. Keeps everything nice and quiet. Back to my cheat sheet. Minuses. Every product you ever buy, there's always something that you're just not quite happy with. This filter control system, this one, has 4 sockets. Circulation pump, which is basically one pump with 2 outlets, so you've only got one that is protected. Cleaning pump, which is internal, a 220 volt supply you can use for what you want, and the direct drive drum filter motor. As I said, this only contains one safety relay. In the event that the water level drops too low, it will only shut off one pump. I added a second relay because I'm an electrician. This is now my second circulating pump, just by simple addition of the relay. In the event the water level drops too low, both pumps will drop out. A little minus. Very well made inside. There's not an awful lot of stuff in there. Very, very happy. And before I forget, there's a 2-year warranty on the drum itself, but not the screen. I think the screen is debatable, so I don't think you're covered for a warranty on the screen. Don't quote me on that again. And the third minus, cost. It's just so expensive. Which brings us to the next bit, cost. This particular combi drum was £3,040, delivered from Queni Koi in Leicestershire. I think that's about it. What do you get with that? Everything that you've seen, apart from the UV. The UV is an extra. So you can either buy a UV that goes inside your combi, or the UV might be somewhere down the line, and that's how you prefer it. A lot of this, I'm always going to go back to personal choice. That's just how it is. Utilities. What do you need to make this drum work? Electric and waste. Because this uses its own water to clean itself, you don't need a water supply to your combi. You'll need a water supply somewhere else in your system, but not for this combi unit. Media. I've got 100 litres of micro K1. You can have K1, you can have K1 plus, you can have Helix, you can have anything in there that will boil, that will agitate with the air dome. UV position. I am simply not getting into a discussion about UV position. Go back about 30 seconds, personal choice. The original position marked up for me was down at the low side, left or right of the dirty side, as recommended by Queni Koi. Because the position was going to be down here, it would clash with the door, and I couldn't have grandkids running in and out and smashing the end of that off every 2 minutes, because the UV is very expensive. Are you with me so far? After sales. Yes, I had a little bit of trouble with another manufacturer, another company. I had a problem with the drum when I first started it, and it was all my fault. I didn't push the plug-in for the sensors firmly enough inside the control box. that. So I panicked and panicked and panicked, got in touch with Andy Daly. Andy Daly got in touch with Mike Hughes at Queni. This was a Sunday night. Very, very early, Monday morning, Mike Hughes gets in touch with me. How can I help? Send me some photographs, blah, blah, blah. Only for me to profusely apologise to Mike Hughes because it was my fault. When I put the plug in, the drum started working, and it has been working ever since. So the after sales really hasn't been touched upon, but from previous experience talking and buying stuff from Mike, I don't think I'll have any issue with after sales if anything went wrong with the drum. Ease of use. This was the future proofing element of this drum. I don't do anything. My cleaning regime, and I'm not knocking any cleaning regime because I know from experience it can be very therapeutic, good for the mind. But as I said, future proofing, I may not be able to sometime in the future be able to come in and out of here and look after 2 EasyPods sat in a hole, hence the drum. My cleaning regime has gone from 3.5 hours a week to nothing at all. I might occasionally rub around with a bit of a sponge just to clean the dirty bits off. Other than that, nothing. That for me is where I want it to be. I could then utilise the 3.5 hours for something else. Good investment. Yes, without question. I was very, very fortunate to have the funds to pay for a drum, and not everybody is in that position, and I appreciate that, and it can't be for everybody. Do you need a drum? Now, like I've done on other videos, if you have any filtration system that creates good quality water with good parameters and keeps your fish healthy, you've won.